I'm Tim Perkin, and I will be graduating in May. I joined Virginia Tech in 2017 considering both computer science and computer engineering. I'd taken a Python course in high school, and I had self-studied the AP Computer Science A material and was generally interested in computing. After taking no programming-specific courses in the fall semester, I took ECE 1574 in the spring because I was still considering CPE. Though this class did not count toward my degree, and I had already been introduced to programming, I found it highly useful as an introduction to C++, which I might not have gotten otherwise. In the fall of my sophomore year, I enrolled in my major and began taking my first computer science courses at VT. I prepared for and attended both the Engineering Expo and the CSRC in September. In CSRC, I interviewed for Solars and accepted an offer for a co-op in the spring semester. My co-op was a very educational experience. I worked on traffic simulation software for an IC client on a team of 5 people in Blacksburg doing Agile Scrum. Initially, I was somewhat intimidated since I had only taken one semester of courses in my major and had a lot to learn. I did a lot of programming in C++, so I was very grateful to have taken ECE 1574 the year before. This experience increased my confidence in my decision to major in CS. I enjoyed working in Blacksburg since I didn't have to move and could continue being involved in clubs on campus. In order to keep myself on track, I took 2 classes over the summer, including CS 2505. I was again thankful for my C++ experience since it made using C painless, particularly because we effectively only had 5 weeks of instruction for the course. And it was then that I began making regular use of the CS Lounge. In fall of 2019, I took what I consider to be my most challenging semester thus far, taking both CS 3114 and 2506, while making a feature film outside of class. I found 2506 particularly challenging, but was ultimately happy with my final grade. In this semester, I just about moved into the CS Lounge, which I found very helpful. School didn't get too much easier in the spring when I took Systems and Comparative Languages, but I personally enjoyed 3214 more than I expected to. Then in the summer, I interned with Peraton, the company which acquired Solars. The original plan was to return to the Blacksburg office I'd worked at before, but due to COVID-19, I ended up working remotely from my apartment with the company's office in Herndon. I was the sole full-time developer on a digital signal processing IRAD project, and I had to learn quite a lot about DSP, which was outside my comfort zone, particularly as the person who was writing almost all of the code. But we had some success with the software that I designed. This year, I officially added minors in mathematics and philosophy and have filled the gaps in my schedule with these classes. I'm preparing to take the software engineering capstone in the spring. I've already accepted a job offer with Peraton as a software developer and will start shortly after graduation, and I intend to come back and pursue a higher degree in computing at some point in the future. Overall, I'm very happy about my experience in the CS program. In hindsight, there are a few things that I could have done differently. First, I could have made better use of resources such as the CS Lounge and TAs earlier on. In my early CS courses, I spent too much time being confused about things when I could have reached out and asked more questions. I could have scheduled some semesters differently as well. For example, due to 3214's reputation, I only took 12 credit hours in the spring semester of my junior year. In retrospect, I might choose to take my theory course in this semester as well so that my final semester could be lighter. And if I had chosen to minor in math earlier, I would have taken differential equations earlier than this semester. I also could have engaged in more programming projects outside of work and school. I do think that the program could have introduced me to a wider variety of programming languages. Though I appreciate the depth that we get in Java and C, I worry that my familiarity with programming languages is not as broad as it could be. Comparative languages was useful and very interesting to me, but there's only so much depth we can explore in just one semester. Again, I feel that taking ECE 1574 early on was extremely valuable to me, and not just because my C++ experience helped me get a co-op early on, but also because learning multiple languages when I was just starting out granted me a firmer grasp on important principles. If it were up to me, I would consider recommending sophomores in computer science take an introductory course in another programming language, perhaps in the place of CS 2104, which I didn't personally find very valuable. Thank you.